Are Tottenham doomed for relegation? Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to another video. Today's video is going to centre around that very question in the aftermath of last night's 3-1 defeat for Spurs at the hands of Crystal Palace. It really was a pathetic and dismal performance overall by Spurs. A perfect picture, if you like, displayed in full motion as to their dismal and pathetic season as a whole. But last night, there were a lot of Spurs fans that took to their various YouTube and social media platforms to voice even more frustration, even more anger. And there was a proper, seemingly acceptance by a lot of that fan base last night as to they are pretty much down and out for the count as far as what their Premier League status is concerned. Obviously, there's still a little bit of a way to go. There's still about 8 or 9 games left of the Premier League season. But with the run of form that Tottenham are on right now, with the run of games that are coming up, and with there being seemingly no inspiration or no new manager bounce at all from this new manager that they've brought in Igor Tudor, things seem to be very, very dismal, very downwards looking, very sad and sorrowful at Tottenham Hotspur right now. We're going to be looking back at the performance and the result of last night, talking about Spurs and the overall season and what may come as far as what the EFL Championship is concerned. But before we go in any further and discussing all of that and much more, I would like to remind you all to please like the video and also subscribe if you are new. Both things will always and forever be greatly appreciated. And of course, I encourage each and every single one of you to get involved in the comment section down below. Use and abuse that section, people, and talk to me on what is transpiring to be an incredible story in the relegation battle in the Premier League this season. Let me know what you guys are thinking and feeling. I'm sure what you have to say will make for great interest in reading, so please do get involved. And without further ado, let's go on with the conversation ourselves, shall we? Look, I've backed Tottenham for a long time. I backed them to stay up in the division. I said that similarly to last season, they'll survive, even if it is just by being the 4th worst team in the Premier League. They will survive. And in the space of 12 to 14 hours past that Crystal Palace result, which, by the way, I did say that Tottenham would win, how foolish am I? I've changed my mind. I think they are in serious, serious hot water. They are in deep, deep, deep trouble. And I would be seriously worried. I seriously would be worried. This is a Tottenham side that last night showed very little to no fight, that they were up or had the stomach for a relegation dogfight. This was a Tottenham side that as soon as they faced the slightest bit of adversary, they crumbled. It was abysmal. And it was encapsulated by Mickey van der Ven being sent off. Crystal Palace gave them a 1-goal advantage. And then in the space of 13 minutes... Tottenham went down to 10 men, their star defender getting sent off, and they lost 3 goals. 3 goals. And Palace managed to hold on to the 3-1 victory, to see out the second half and get the 3 points and heap more misery onto this Tottenham Hotspur side. But overall, a truly shocking and dismal display by Spurs last night. They're in deep trouble. And I didn't think they would be. I thought they'd survive. I think they'd be the 4th worst team. But they are in serious trouble. Because you look ahead to their fixtures. They've got the likes of Liverpool coming up. They've got fellow relegation candidates Nottingham Forest. They've got Chelsea as well at some point. Just to name a few. Their run don't look good. They are winless in 2026 in the Premier League. It's quite possibly going to be the biggest relegation from the Premier League in at least the Premier League era. I'm not talking top division overall throughout history. I'm talking about the Premier League. Yes, you can maybe look at Leeds, you can maybe look at Newcastle, maybe even West Ham. But for me, given the money that Spurs have got, given the fact that they consider themselves, or they class themselves as a top 6 club, with the players that they have and everything else that goes along with what we know of Tottenham right now, I think it could possibly have a strong case and a strong argument to suggest that if Tottenham Hotspur go down this season, that could be the biggest relegation in Premier League history. And let's face it, they fully would be deserving of it. I feel sorry for the fan base, of course, certain sections of it anyway, but overall they would deserve it, because this is a club that prides themselves on their slogan of to dare is to do, and they don't dare, and they don't do either. They do everything off the pitch. They prioritise the small stuff off the pitch, but they don't act or be ran like a football club. They have all the talk and all the bark of them being a top 6 club, a big player in English football. But when it comes down to actually showing it, backing up your talk, biting rather than just barking, they don't display, or they don't back up their talk. They're constantly running their mouths, but they don't show it on the pitch. We've talked about Spurs in an identity crisis in the past, thinking they're a top 6 side when realistically we all believe them to be somewhere around mid-table. Well, it could be even worse than that, because they could be on the verge of being relegated this season. Like, it's truly abysmal. Truly abysmal. To dare is to do, and they haven't done that. It wasn't so long ago that they were in the final of the Champions League. It wasn't so long ago that they were cementing their place in the top 4 position for Champions League football consistently. It wasn't so long ago they were getting to latter stages of cup competitions. Fast forward to right now, and although they won a Europa League last year, it papered over massive cracks. Massive gaping cracks, which this year have not been covered and not been filled. And that is why this club finds themselves on the verge of relegation. Truly an abysmal football club, if you can even call it that anymore, because let's face it, it is basically an entertainment unit. Tottenham Hotspur are an entertainment unit. They've got a brand new shiny stadium, state of the art, one of the best in the world. They don't show anything state of the art on the pitch though. Only when they transform it into an arena where Beyonce can play and obviously headline, or the boxing can headline, or it can be turned into an F1 track, or whatever else they've got planned for that stadium. The football is always the least priority to this ownership, to that football, to that club, to that institution as a whole. It's never about the football. They got rid of the football a long time ago, didn't care about it, moved to a new stadium, and it's all about who they can bring in as shiny new headlines for that stadium. Look, they've got Beyonce. Look, they've got this person, that person coming in. They've got this boxing fight, that boxing fight. They might even get something like the wrestling soon, or anything along those lines. But the football is always taking a back seat in that institution. And you can tell that because this club and this squad has had years of neglect. It has been put together, the squad, by a number of different brains and different minds, whether it be from managers to sporting directors, different people across a spectrum of different personalities, different wants, different visions, all sorts. It is a Frankenstein squad that has been put together and neglected for years. And now it's all coming to the forefront. Should have been massive warning signs and alarm bells last season, but no. No. Instead, the club went out and they hung Thomas Frank out to dry, in my opinion. Not that he was entirely blameless, but I do believe they hung him out to dry. The club then went and signed Conor Gallagher and put him on 200k a week. Are you kidding me? 200k a week for Conor Gallagher. Absolute madness. And then, to top it off, they bring in this new manager, Igor Tudor. A guy who's got no experience of the Premier League, no experience of English football, no experience of an English relegation dogfight. And yet, you expect him to come in, hit the ground running instantly, and fight his way out of this dogfight. There is more fight in Wolverhampton Wanderers right now than there is Tottenham. And a lot of people consider Wolves to be down and out. They have got a very slim chance of staying up, but they're fighting with everything they've got to maintain that hope, to maintain that a great escape could be on the cards for this season. West Ham are fighting with everything they've got to survive. Even Nottingham Forest, and I don't agree with their new manager appointment either, but I have seen more fight from Nottingham Forest against Liverpool, against I can't remember who they took on last week, but obviously this past week they've also took on Manchester City and managed to get a point from that game. Brighton, it was Brighton, I lost to Brighton, sorry. I saw them more fight in Brighton, I saw more fight in them against Man City than what I have seen from Tottenham since Igor Tudor took over. This guy inspires no confidence. The guy inspires absolutely nothing. And it's not necessarily his fault that he's been put into this position. It is once again the ownership and the people that make the decisions behind the scenes at Tottenham that have once again just decided to neglect their football club and just hope for the best. Take a massive gamble and hope for the best. That's all they do at that football club. They hope for the best. To dare is to do. To hope is what they do. It is absolutely ridiculous what is going on at Tottenham Hotspur right now. And you know what? It'll be sad to see them leave the Premier League from my personal perspective. Like, my dad's a Tottenham fan. Know a few Tottenham fans. It'll be sad on them. But because they've been ran so poorly, because they've got a number of poor players, because there's no fight, because there's no intensity, because there's no clear vision, there is no plan, there is only step one and then the final step. There is no steps in between to get to that final position. It is just, you guys sort it out, you guys get us there. Because there is nothing to suggest that this football club is stable, I worry that even if they do go down this season, they danced with the devil last season. The devil's going to probably catch them this year. And if he doesn't this year, it might be next year. It might even be the year after. But it doesn't look good for a club that's been in solid decline for years. I seriously worry that even if they do go down, they might not even come back up. They might not even come back up. At least not at the first time of asking anyway. The Championship released brilliant news for Spurs yesterday. They said that they were going to expand the playoff places to 6 places rather than 4. That was probably music to a lot of Tottenham fans' ears yesterday in hearing that. But even then, would you seriously back Spurs to come back up at the first time of asking? It is a tricky and difficult league, the Championship. One of the hardest to get out of. Ask anybody that's been in that league. They will tell you how difficult and how awkward it can be. And for Spurs, as much as you would probably back a lot of Premier League teams to yo-yo from the Premier League to the Championship to back up into the Premier League at the first time of asking, Spurs will find it difficult to do so. You can probably guarantee that. As far as what the EFL is concerned, they will absolutely welcome Spurs with open arms to the Championship. They will have hit the jackpot with getting a big club like Spurs into the Championship. They will milk it for what it is. Sky will milk it for what it is in terms of their Championship games and Championship ratings on Sky Sports consistently. Both of them things will absolutely love and adore Spurs in the Championship for next season. But as far as what Tottenham are concerned, it's just going to bring more misery. A number of big players are going to be leaving. I think they'll even leave even if they manage to somehow, some way, manage to stay up in the division. If they manage to stay up, I still think they were going to leave. The likes of Mickey van der Ven, probably Dominic Solanke, maybe even like a James Maddison, maybe a Pape Sarr or something. I reckon all of them will probably leave. The club will continue to be in freefall. They'll continue to live in this deluded fantasy world where everything's fine because they've got various headline acts coming to the stadium very soon. The football is not a priority at this football club. Stop calling them a football club. They are an entertainment unit and nothing more. And that is the cold, hard truth about Tottenham Hotspur right now. Do I think they'll survive? If you'd asked me a few days ago, I would have said yes. Now, I don't think they will. I've seen no fight from this Spurs side. Whether it be the manager, whether it be the players, or whether the board simply do not care. All of those things combined suggest to me that Tottenham Hotspur are doomed for the Championship for next year. And those are the thoughts, comments, opinions, predictions, feelings, whatever you call it, of this guy. I want to know what you guys are thinking and feeling, though. Let me know in the comments section your thoughts on Tottenham and a potential relegation down to the Championship for next season. Let me know your thoughts, comments, opinions, predictions, feelings, whatever you call it, on all of that. Otherwise, hit the like button on the way if you enjoyed the video. Subscribe if you are new or want to see more content like this. Both things will always and forever be greatly appreciated. And as always, thank you all so much for watching and listening. I've been Fletch. This has been another Fletch Talks video, and I will see and speak to you all again soon in another video or live stream or whatever it may be. Cheers, guys. Thanks everyone for watching. Take care of yourselves. Enjoy the rest of your day. Speak to you all again very, very soon.